Welcome in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. It's another Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. We're roaming around the valley. We were at Oceanside last night to do a little visit with NAU, calling them the best in the West in ACHA D2. So if you're going to do the best in the West in D2, you got to go to the best of the West in D1. And right now, on paper at least, the Arizona Wildcats, number 10 ranked in the opening poll. Chad Berman is with me, the head coach. Coach, I know you're going to tell me it means nothing, but it means something, doesn't it?
Well, it means that the programs that head in a good direction, our past accomplishments are being revealed. For us, it doesn't mean anything. There's no scores that are going to be settled on Twitter, that's for sure, and we get to make our case next Friday in enemy territory, and we're looking forward to that.
Well, for years, you and I have talked about my dislike for the polling system. I don't like the way it starts. I don't like the way it ends. I just think there's other ways to do it, but that's neither here nor there. But things are happening in the ACHA D1 level and in your conference, right? You just announced that Utah's coming in, Grand Canyon's coming in, UNLV's coming in next year, and that's what you want. You want growth and competition, correct?
Yeah, we want budget relief, so it's really nice to have more geographically friendly teams to play. I think it's good for the kids academically and for our budget and for the expansion of hockey out west. So, this has been something we've been talking about since I took this job. So it's kind of exciting to see that it's going, and I think there's room for more opportunity with other groups out west. So certainly excited. I think GCU's continuing to build, and we hope they continue to do that. And ASU looks like they're going to take a big step this year, and we're excited about that. It's better to have tougher competition, and and we want our conference to have. I think all the teams in our conference should want that. We want the strength of schedule to matter in your rankings, and ultimately we're all preparing for March, and so the better the competition, the better.
We talk about March, and kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit, but last year you made that trip. We talked about getting that last game and how it may have been a blessing and may have not have been a blessing, depending on how you look at it. But any way you look at that national tournament, seedings are important, and game times are important, aren't they?
Yeah, momentum's important in that tournament. I think we lost some opportunities. And I'll take responsibility for that. I think there's some things I could do to prepare us mentally better. That there's a lot you learn from those failures, and I think you look at the NHL teams that make it to the Final Four and they peck away, and eventually they make it happen. But you learn a lot from those failures. I saw Babcock talking about with Toronto, and ultimately you have to sometimes go through those things to figure out what it takes. I'm hoping that's the case. I certainly went back through the film after giving myself a month break, and there's adjustments I missed, so I got to be better. I think as a team, there's things we need to be better. We need to be clearly more disciplined. We need to live in the moment and take everything situation to situation. So there's a lot of ways we feel like we can improve, and certainly that starts internally.
Well, the season's got underway for some of your opponents. The UNLV played Colorado this last weekend and earned a sweep. And I know you guys get to the ice here relatively quickly, but talk a little bit about this season in particular, the way things are scheduled out and the way things have looked. We talked about it briefly about a couple of months ago, but refresh us again about this schedule and how you like the way it sets up for your team.
Well, we're in a massive challenge. The first 5 games going into ASU. Against your rivals on the road, that's a tough way to start, and that's good. And then we go to Oklahoma and take on 2 very good teams. It's a road trip we've struggled with in the past, so we don't have time to sit around and wait and feel ourselves out. We're on the ice here today, and that urgency has to happen now, and we're talking about it. But when you've got this many returners, it helps, and there's a mature group, a championship culture that's been established. So a lot of this is steering itself, and I don't have to do a lot of that discussion. They understand what's at stake here, and so we'll have a great practice today and focus on mastering today, and then we'll focus on next week.
Okay, I know you never like to talk about it, and it's never an excuse, but ice is always an issue for you guys. As we talked today, you came to see me, not me coming to see you, not because you like me, but just because you had to find some ice somewhere. So you spent the last couple of days up in the Valley of the Sun, if we will, in Phoenix, because that's where there was ice. What's it like, again, to have to go tryouts and things like that? I know you don't want to say it's a disadvantage, but it's not really an advantage either, is it?
Yeah, not at all. But I mean, once we get back home, we've got our advantages of home and the big crowds that we get to play in front of. So, we do a lot of things as a team. I don't know how many teams else do this, but we do a lot of talking about mental preparation stuff. So we talk about a lot of non-hockey stuff. And one of the things we're going to focus on this year is with adversity, we're going to choose to look at it as opportunity and not as adversity. And so the opportunity is, I like the idea of us being crammed on a bus, forced to be put together for this long. I think I can bring our team together quicker. I like that we're going to be challenged early on the road. I think that's how you build a character and toughness to your team. We've got, we've been preparing all summer for this opportunity. We're certainly excited about the accomplishments of last season, but we're more bitter about how it ended, and we feel like we've got something to prove.
All right, all the way around the Desert Southwest this summer, everybody I've talked to from the NHL on down, there's been a couple of things that have come out. 3 things, actually. I've heard character, I've heard competition and depth, and the final thing that I've been hearing a lot on lately is that the opportunity for stability. You've been here for a few years now, so let's start stability first. Your program is stable, correct?
We like to think so. Yeah, I mean, again, we had one kid graduate, so from a roster standpoint, we know what to expect systematically, and with our limited ice right now, that's going to be a huge opportunity. We added 3 immediate impact recruits that are high character kids first and foremost, that are competitive and work hard secondly, and they're very talented, and that's got to happen too, obviously. We're very balanced. We're excited about what we have, but we know nobody's going to give us this. We also understand the responsibility of being the returning conference champs. There's a bullseye in our back. Plain and simple, everybody's going to get up for us more, so consistency is going to matter. And it doesn't matter who we're playing. We're honestly competing with ourselves to get the best of ourselves every day. And if we can keep that kind of short focus, I think we'll look up in March, February, and be pretty happy with where we stand.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritties of this team. What have you seen so far in just the limited time that you've been together, and more importantly, the limited time you've been on the ice? You told me earlier that this is a practice today. It's not a tryout anymore.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a tryout today, but we, last night's skate, about 5 minutes left in tryouts, I was sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, I know what our team is, so what's the holdup here? Let's cut it now. And so we made our picks, we selected our team, and now it's today's tryouts a practice, and we need it. So I woke up today really excited because we're not talking about what we're building, we're talking about now ASU. So all our focus is on ASU. We know they're a better team. We know that they're going to be a big challenge for us on the road here to start. So we're preparing for the details of them. They're not going to have any film on us because we're not going to have any games. So we'll call that a small advantage. But they'll probably be a little more sharp. So we'll prepare for that first 20. We got to play simple. We got to win battles. And honestly, just can't wait to get started.
When I look at your roster from an outsider looking in, I see a lot of balance. I don't know if there's an area that you're better than the other. It looks like you have the offensive skill. It looks like you're solid defensively. And your goaltending, I think, if I was going to pick, would be your solid point. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, we're really deep up front. Like, we got a lot of weapons up front. We added the right kind of – I mean, we had a lot of skill last year, but we added some grit and some bite to it, which is important. And I thought a lot about our Oklahoma trip for that because we got pushed around a little bit there, and it's just not something we're interested in continuing. So we're preparing for those situations, and, given our situation, we're going to have to get off to a good start here. We're excited by the challenge. But I feel like our offense is probably our strength. But then again, we got 2 excellent goaltenders. I feel really good about our D. We feel like the depth of our D has gotten better. The depth of our forwards has gotten better. Everybody's got a year under their belt. We're all familiar with what we're doing, who we are. And then, when you filter in 3 kids and 3 recruits who immediately have gelled into the group and fit right in because they're more interested in winning than their own success. That's part of it. And we added a couple of walk-ons here that we're really excited about that are going to be developmental projects, and they're going to push for ice time. And that's part of the fun of college hockey is developing kids.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be right back with your captain, and we'll talk a little more Wildcat hockey here on Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. Welcome in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. It's another Hockey Talk in the Desert Southwest. This one's special, though, because it's the start of the season. I brought in the best from the West in Division II last night with NAU. I'm bringing in the best in the West in ACHA hockey, and the University of Arizona, ranked number 10 coming into the preseason poll. Why not bring in the captain, Anthony Cusanelli, with me? So Coos, I can call you that, right? Because
Yeah,
we're
of course.
friends now, right? All right. So tell me a little bit about this offseason, first of all, because last year didn't end the way you wanted to, right? You made it to the national tournament, but you didn't finish the way you wanted to. And I know there was a little bit of grit going on in the summertime. Everybody wanted to get better. What was it like for you personally?
Yeah, so last season was had some ups and downs. I thought we made progress. Winning the conference was huge for us, obviously, but the way we ended wasn't what we wanted. So we've had this bitter taste in our mouth for the past few months here. So we only lost one senior, Chuck James, big loss, but we filled it up with we have 6 new guys this year, 3 new recruits. Teamwork will be huge for us in the back end, Lowell, and then Johansson, 2 more good power forwards. So yeah, for myself personally, wasn't happy how the season ended. Right to work after we got back home to New Jersey, and I'm ready to go this season. I'm looking forward to starting.
You know, all the way around the desert Southwest this summer, when I've been to NHL teams and AHL teams and NCAA and ACHA, the common theme has been depth and character, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants depth, everybody wants character. Tell me about the depth and character on the Arizona Wildcats for 2019, 2020.
Yeah, I think character is something we have been building on year after year. I think it's been getting better each year. I think last year was a big step for us character-wise. I mean, there's no egos in the locker room. Everyone's here to win, and depth is huge, especially. We have the depth this year. We had depth last year, but I think it's even deeper this year, which is good. It creates a battle in practice for the lineup spots, and if someone's not playing well, it's next guy up mentality. So I think we definitely have the depth this year.
You know, when I started Ice Time Hockey 4 years ago, we're starting our 5th year, and I looked at the programs all around the desert Southwest, and I thought, wow, what am I getting myself into, right? Now I look at it, and this is competition. I mean, ACHA D1 hockey here is for real, right? I mean, You guys are serious student athletes that compete.
Yeah, especially this year. I mean, ASU is going to be better, GCU making the jump to D1, they're going to be better, and the competition's getting better each year, and it's exciting.
So tell me a little bit about this team that you've seen on the ice just a couple of days now. We're up here in Gilbert because you guys don't have your ice yet, but you're used to it a little bit. You've made the trip before, so tell me what you've seen on the ice from these guys, and where do you think that strength is?
Yeah, we've only been on the ice twice here. Today's day 3, kind of a late start, but we'll roll with the punches. I think the recruits were awesome. Tryouts were a battle. We had some guys walking on, fighting for spots. Everyone competed well. Yeah, I'm excited. I think our new guys are going to fit in really well. We kind of lost a big piece of grit with Chuck James, and now we're adding 2 more guys that play that style with Johansson and Lowell. So I think we're in a better start right now than we were last year. So I'm excited, definitely.
I'm going to put you on the spot on this one. I did the same with Coach. I said, when I looked at your roster from the outside, right, I don't see any weaknesses. I see strong forwards. I see good defense. I see really solid goaltending. When you look at it, the captain of this team, where do you think your strength lies?
Yeah, I think we're well balanced. I think we have the power up front, a young D-core that's maturing now. Jones and Hull especially, they were freshmen last year. Sophomores this year, they'll be way better, way more mature, used to the pace. And then in goaltender, we got Churro, in my opinion, the best in the ACHA. So, I mean, no matter who we put in front of him, he'll make the saves that we need to win games. And, yeah, I think we're well balanced this year.
Okay, so getting through an ACHA D1 season requires a little bit of luck, needs a lot of skill, but it also needs a lot of health, right?
Yeah.
And you guys have had your share of battles down the stretch. You know what that's like. Tell me a little bit about what it's going to take to stay healthy this entire season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season, especially with these trips up to Phoenix a bit often here. But, yeah, I mean, balancing schoolwork with hockey and staying healthy, it's not easy, but that's where the depth comes in. So if someone gets hurt, it's not a big deal. Next guy up, and I think that'll come in handy down the road, definitely.
Okay, your schedule is already done for you. You guys know where you're going and how you're doing it. Always getting off to a fast start is important at any level. You're on the road, obviously, and then you get that stretch of home games coming in, later in the middle part of the season towards the end. So talk to me about how important it is to getting off to a fast start.
Yeah, we're throwing right into it with ASU and Tempe first weekend, so that's where our focus is right now. But right after that, another huge weekend in Oklahoma. Central Oklahoma definitely wants to beat us, especially after last year. Oklahoma, same thing. They beat us last year, so both those games will be a battle. But, yeah, starting off those 5 games are important, definitely. The home stretch after that will be easier if we start off strong these first 5. But as of now, we're focused on ASU first weekend.
Okay, let's talk about your line mates. You guys have gelled together pretty well right now. I don't know if you've solidified that as the same group that'll be on the ice when we start here in a couple of weeks in Tempe, but tell me a little bit about how you guys have gelled with the guys that have come in to play with you.
Yeah, we've been tinkering for lines here. It's only been a couple of skates, but obviously if I'm with Bailey, it's helpful. He's another, I don't say another, but Bailey's awesome. He carried us last year, makes my life way easier. Westland too. Westland's the same way. He'll get in the corners, find me the puck, find Bailey the puck. But yeah, I might switch things up. We're not sure yet, but that's why we're here to figure out lines for upcoming games.
All right, Coos, I tell you, the season's ready to roll. We already had a fantastic Friday that scored a hat trick, so we're stacking you up now. So see what you can do on Friday nights and the rest of the season, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.